I'm going to do a stream of thought throughout my day, if I can just get some way to hold my camera steady, because I have so many things going through my brain right now that need to be out there for people to know. And one of them is the anti-inflammatory tea regimen, which we're going to do here in a few minutes. And I really just want people to know this is something that I found a few years ago for myself. I knew that there was a lot of research on the ability of turmeric and pepper, ginger, chamomile. There's a lot of other ones too, but those three especially have a lot of research that they can decrease inflammation very quickly, very powerfully. And that's not a very good way to say it, but the fact is, I tried it. I tried it for myself, which I usually do. Any of the things that I say for people to do or try, I've usually done them for myself. So I came back from a vacation. I had eaten all kinds of things that were not on my usual healthy food list, and I felt crappy. Oops, I don't know if you can say that on YouTube, but I felt really bad and I ached everywhere. And some of it was from the travel, from the poor sleep, from the stress of everything, and especially from the food. I had eaten probably a few times, had some corn, which is a really bad one for me, but everybody will have different things that really cause their joints and muscle pain to flare up. And if you have an autoimmune disorder, it can be anything that causes that flare up. But once you realize that you're having a flare, you can just stop the things that you know, which is what I did. And then I said, I'm going to use the strongest anti-inflammatory herbs that I know that have really good research behind them. And they were the ginger, the turmeric plus pepper with it, and black pepper and chamomile. And I had them in tea bags that first time, and I just made sure that every hour, that first 4 days was my plan, that I was going to drink a cup of one of those teas, and I was just going to alternate through it. So I would do turmeric and pepper. The next time, an hour later, I would do ginger. The next time I would do the chamomile. And I was expecting it to take much longer than it did, but easily by the end of the second day, I could tell that I was improved. And by the end of the fourth day, I didn't have any more pain. And I've done that at least 2 more times for myself, and I know that it's effective. And now I'm using it in my clients, and I've had them say the same thing, that it can be quite effective. So I will show you how to do that here in just a second, as soon as I get my lights set up. So it's very easy anyway. You can add, if you want, a little bit of honey to it. I thought maybe the honey would counteract it, because honey is a sweetener, and sugar can be an inflammatory compound that you get when you're on vacation. Whoops, sorry about that. When you're on vacation and you're not eating really well, sugar is one of those things that you get into your system, along with some other oils that you might not want. And I'm going to have to set this camera down to be able to put my lights up. Filming is very difficult for me. Okay, I'm back. I'm just setting the camera up here. We're going to start now. I was talking about my hack for inflammation, and I really strongly recommend this for anyone who's dealing with autoimmune disorders, because I think it's such a great hack. It's just turmeric, ginger, and chamomile. Of course, wouldn't suggest it for anybody who has allergies to that, but I would also not suggest it for anyone who is pregnant, because chamomile, as innocuous as it might seem, as safe as it might seem, is one of those things that can act almost like taking aspirin during a pregnancy. It can interfere with the development of the infant's heart. So don't use chamomile during pregnancy. But I would really highly recommend, these are powdered ginger and powdered turmeric that I get from my health food store. But when I did this before, the first few times, I did it just with tea bags. There's no reason that you can't do it that way. And simply just get chamomile tea, get one that's turmeric with or without pepper. It's probably easier if you get it with pepper. But if you get a turmeric tea without pepper, then add a pinch of pepper to the tea that you do that's turmeric, and then use a little bit of, ginger. I also thought that it might not work if you used honey with it, but I do put a little bit of honey in mine every once in a while, not all the time, and I don't think it interfered with the effect of it at all. So I would really suggest, let me see if I can put this in the middle because I like it better. I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive that way. And I normally will just use 1/4 teaspoon of this in a cup of water. And I think the more fluid you get with this, the better. But I didn't really pay that much attention to that the first time. So this is just powdered ginger. Pour in your hot water. Stir it up. And again, if you want to add a little bit of honey, you can do that. I usually add a little bit of, where's my raw honey? Oh, there it is. I usually add a little bit of raw honey, and, it just makes it easier to do this because you're going to be doing it round the clock not round the clock, only during the time you're awake. But every hour when you're awake, another cup, and you'll be getting lots of fluid by doing it that way. But I don't honestly think it's just the fluid that does this, because I've tried it just with water or, liquids in the amount of a gallon a day. I really think if you're doing this, a gallon a day is what you need. So go ahead and try to get as much water as possible. And again, drink one every hour. It's lovely with a little bit of slight sweetness like that. And it'll be a little bit peppery, especially like the ginger has a little bit of peppery taste to it. The turmeric plus pepper, of course, has a little bit of pepper. When I do the turmeric one, I'll show you that it's just as easy. I'm going to get another cup here, though. Here's a little white cup. We'll use that one. So with the turmeric, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just use a 1/4 teaspoon of that. It's just a powder. It's bright orange. And then I use my pepper, and I just do a pinch. And that's good. Tiny bit of honey in that. Can't go wrong with that. Just a little bit in the bottom. That's good. Sort of like that. Hot water. And stir and enjoy. And just keep rotating these one after the other around the clock for 48 hours while you're awake. Don't worry about waking up in the night to do it. And you can even, taper off in the evening so you're not up all night going to the bathroom or several times a night. But especially, during the day, these three. The other one that's highly anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, that would probably really be good in this rotation would be a green tea. And if you did that, I would suggest, I have a couple that I use. This is just the organic green tea. This is also from traditional medicinals, similar to my chamomile. It's just simply the herb. It doesn't have any other natural flavors or anything in it. And this one is the same way. It's just green tea and matcha tea leaf Matcha is the other thing that I would say you could use as a tea if you wanted to rotate another one through here. And this is going to be highly anti-inflammatory and has a lot of antioxidants. It's just such a great thing for your body. You can't go wrong if you're doing these things unless you're allergic, and I don't want you doing anything that you're allergic to, but a really good regimen for those who are experiencing a lot of inflammation. And I have lots of other ones out there. Another one that I may do a film on or a video on is Nigella sativa, which is black cumin seed, and it is also highly anti-inflammatory. Works really well for those with Hashimoto's, a 1/4 teaspoon a day. And I actually ground mine up a little bit in my little spice mill, so mine is a little bit more ground up. You can see my bags from my health food store a little bit weathered. All the writing is off. But this is my Nigella sativa. I ground it up. It was a seed. It's just a black powder. And a 1/4 teaspoon a day of this has been shown to improve thyroid function in people with Hashimoto's because it's such a great anti-inflammatory compound. All right. Okay, everybody, go out there, do well. Love ya. We'll see you in the next video. Oh, that's good.